All right, what's up? What's going on, world? All you lovely people out there listening in the world. Yes, the world is where you'll be listening when you find this podcast. Welcome to Table Talk. It is your absolute three favorite people in the whole wide world. That is the world you are listening on. Hypergraphia.
Oh, it's my turn. Jesus. I thought you were just going to keep going. It's Lady S with the sass.
And tonight we're bringing you guys another podcast, another unnumbered podcast, because we don't know when this is going to be coming out to you. It may come out soon, it may come out late, but either way, again, guys, we want to apologize for our little brief hiatus. We're going to be trying to put these out a little more regularly for you guys. So tonight's subject, it is the month of October, and you know that means Halloween. So we're just going to kind of throw different Halloween things around. I mean, really, we were kind of just pre-talking some ideas of, like, possibly, like, best, worst experiences, costumes we went as a kid, like, movies that we like or hate or that watch around this time, anything like that. So if you guys have anything to go on, go right ahead.
So this is our Halloween special, quote unquote.
This is our Halloween special. It's our Table Talk Spooktacular.
Let's just see how spook it is.
Yeah, we will. What was the voice that I was doing earlier in the kitchen?
Igor.
Yes, lady, yes.
I like it.
I have brought you these parts.
Is that sexual?
Yep. Mr. Filler strikes again.
Mr. Filler.
Dr. Tanamanaboa.
Tanamanaboa.
Oh.
No one's going to know what that is.
That is true. So what?
Google it.
So let us know, when you guys get to thinking about stuff. We want to know your own Halloween stories, but I guess I'm gonna kick off by asking, like, what did you guys go as, like, when you were kids? Like, I very vividly remember, like, when I was growing up, my mom always like made our costumes and went like the extra mile. She would always ask us like a couple months before and be like, "What do you want to be?" And one that really sticks out for me is she went like all in on like a full awesome vampire, like cloak, pendants, like did my hair slick back and everything, did my makeup and stuff. Yeah, she really did. Like, she was an awesome mom, but that one really sticks out for me. I'm trying to think of like any more. I think I went as a pumpkin one year. Like, I think I was like really don't fucking laugh
That's
at me.
adorable.
I know it was, okay, and I knew I put myself at risk of being like, and don't think that I'm adorable, guys, because I'm tough and I'm edgy. But there was a year that I went as a pumpkin, and it was pretty adorable. It was just like a big cotton pumpkin man.
Don't feel bad. One year I went as a Big Mac.
Really? That's adorable.
No, it's not.
It is. It's mean and it's edgy.
It's a tribute to childhood obesity. Here I am.
What are you? I'm adult.
I'm cholesterol.
I'm adult onset diabetes. Well done, Corey.
Here we go.
King size large fries. I'm gonna make that your catchphrase. I'm gonna have guys right now in the comments. King size large fries. All right, but what about you, Lady S? Like, I know Halloween's one of your honestly favorite times of year. You like to basically transformed your whole upstairs room into a Halloween fest. You've made my little Twitch setup background a Halloween fest, so you've got to have some cool stories with Halloween.
I don't have very many cool stories, actually.
Really?
I grew up in a very, very Christian household, so
that's true.
I couldn't have been a witch, a vampire, anything evil or anything that might have seemed evil. I couldn't have been.
No way, really?
So for the longest time, because my mom liked to dress me up in the same costume every year.
Really? So it was like Halloween for her, basically.
Kind of.
Jeez.
She really controlled every aspect of Halloween. I mean, it's your parents. You don't have any say.
That's true.
But for the longest time, when I was a baby, up until I was like maybe 2 or 3, I was an angel.
I was actually going to ask if you were ever an angel.
I was an angel, and
now look at you.
when I see how
You're still my angel.
Aww.
When I got a little bit older, for a couple of years, I was an Indian.
Really?
Yep.
Like an Indian princess, or just
I wasn't really like Pocahontas Indian, just a regular like.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you do like a feather headdress and stuff, or
no? Like, I think I had a band or something, but nothing like crazy. And
Interesting.
I really liked the Indian only because it was a break from the angel, and
Right.
it was something different that my mom was like, no, you can't be this. And
I dare you to try it.
I'm
now.
so surprised they never let you do like a Disney princess or anything like that. Like I know your mom's very against Disney these days, but like I wouldn't imagine that she would have been when you were younger.
Well, actually, you just made me remind myself that I was a princess for a couple of years too. Like
a Disney princess or just a princess?
Just
like,
a princess, though.
Really?
Like, I had a, really big getup. It was, like, a yellow dress and, like, jewels and stuff, but it wasn't, like, Snow White or anything. But,
Didn't you go with Snow White in your adulthood?
Yeah,
Miss?
when I was, like, 23 or something. But that...
Oh, yeah.
I think I was the only one that actually dressed up, and I went out with my battle buddies, and we went to a bar.
That's right.
Got drunk and had a gay old time with that. But I think I don't think I've dressed up for Halloween since then. I mean, I don't really like dressing up. It's too cold anymore to
That is
go
a
out.
weird kind of conundrum that Halloween's just before winter. So the party sluts gotta actually dress up.
Yeah.
How dedicated to dick are you?
It's never stopped him before. It's not gonna stop him now.
That's true.
The thirst will always be unquenched.
I'm right here, ladies.
What about you, Corey? Did you do any cool costumes growing up?
I have one in particular. I mean, I was Dracula a few times. A Big Mac. I think that was a 2 or 3 year run with that. I'm sorry. One of my favorites is when before my brother left, or he might have been home on leave from the Marines, was he made me this badass just ghoul costume out of odds and ends. He's got such an artistic mind. He found one of those blow-ups from the bars for advertising. It was a bat, and he strapped that to my back for wings.
Really?
He found a random mask, suit, shredded that. It was just
super creative.
Yeah, it was
Sounds like it.
insane, and everyone's just like, "What are you?" And I'm like, "I'm a ghoul."
Huh.
And this was
Frankenstein.
I think I was like 6 years old.
Huh.
So it was a super creative costume. It was one of my favorites. I wish I had pictures of it because it was definitely a testament to my brother and his creativity.
What was your guys's this is just a question that popped in my head, but obviously since as kids we all went trick or treating, and obviously tastes change over time. But as a kid, what was your favorite candy to get? Like if you saw you were getting it at a house, you were like, "Fuck yeah, this is." What was that candy for you guys?
Reese's Cups.
Me too. Me fucking too.
All right, we're done here.
Oh my
Get some
god!
Reese's Cups.
You know what's actually really funny? It just makes me think of this story too. That like my mom, when I was growing up, when I went trick or treating, her favorite candy bar at the time was Snickers, and she would like every day, like I would notice as I because you go through your stash or whatever, and like I remember the time I probably was like, I don't know, like 9 or 10, but I had to actually like confront my mom, like, "Are you eating my candy?" And she's like, "Yeah." But she was like siphoning Snickers off of me. But yeah, absolutely, dude.
On
Peanut
the
butter
other hand-
cups. And then
Sorry.
like a close second would have been like Reese's Pieces, because those were always really good too.
Did you have a second place?
Second place,
Kit Kat.
Kit Kat.
that's
Second
good.
place.
That was out of. It wasn't even my realm. York peppermint patties.
Your peppermint patties are pretty good. Those are actually.
I don't think I've ever gotten one of those when I trick or treat.
Really? Did you guys?
What is this shit?
Did you guys ever have like a house or two on your block that did like a full candy bar? Did you ever get those? Me too. Me too. Those were the best.
I grew up in a trailer park, so it was the house with the crowd.
Still the best. What about crappy things? Did you guys ever get like toothbrushes or like?
Yes.
There was a year I got like a toothbrush and some floss, and I actually think I got like Kleenex one year too. Like no joke. Like somebody put like. Remember how like probably like your moms and your dads used to carry those little like mini packs.
Oh, the plastic wrap?
Yeah. I was just like looking at the guy like, no, this isn't candy. You know what you're doing to me.
Get a toothbrush. Are you a dentist?
I
Your
got,
house is getting teepee.
I got I think I got an apple once.
I actually have got an apple too.
I got
I would be so hesitant to bite into an
a
apple.
popcorn ball once.
Yes.
And I was like, what the hell is this?
I was never a big fan of the popcorn balls. Like, no, not really.
I didn't like those.
If you like we're talking about just weird things.
Mm.
Again, trailer park, so it's kind of anything goes. But did you ever like one of the houses was they didn't give out candy, but you could come in and have something to eat from a buffet, and it was like Swedish meatballs. And there's cheese balls you take
Nope.
bite of. It's like you spend 10 minutes in there and everybody it is all not a known person in the neighborhood. I just even as a kid I'm like this isn't right.
Nope.
This is-
That's never happened
There's
to me.
gonna be a pile of
I'm-
toddlers in the back room, isn't there?
Nope, I've never actually gone into anybody's house trick-or-treating.
Really?
There was one year I knocked on a guy. I think it was, God, I like... It was when I was still going to school in Davison, but I knocked on a guy's door because he had his light on, and it was me and Kyle, and we were trick-or-treating with, like, one of my mom's from work's friends or something. Her child was going with us, and knocked on this guy's door, and he, like, came to the door, and he's like, what the fuck do you want? Like, literally to a bunch of kids, like, this isn't even exaggerated. He's like, what the fuck do you want? And we were like, trick-or-treat, man. And he's like, I don't have any candy. And we're like, well, your light's on. He's like, get the fuck off my porch. And we were just like, we were like looking at our parents like, what do we do? It's just like, fucking just turn around and like walked away. And I was just like, I was actually mad. Like, as a kid, I was like, man, fuck that guy.
That's kind of a shitty experience.
I was very upset about that, but it's a weird reminder of that.
See, and I've had a similar one. Again, I don't have to say it again, but trailer park.
So I
So you
don't
get-
know why you keep saying
Well, because I want you to put that in your head. You're not walking.
everything needs to be in yeehaw context.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Is you go from it's literally house to house to house. It's not spread out like even a city block. It's,
Right.
you know, bam, 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 bam. You have no privacy in a trailer park. Your neighbors know you're pregnant before you do. As we walked up on porches and the porch lights on, the trick or treat, and the guy gets up and he looks out the window and he just shuts the light off and goes back. I'm like, the same thing. Like you look around to all your friends, like, what do we do?
Right.
I'm going to get eggs.
We just got the shaft.
Right.
Have you ever TP'd someone's house?
I have never TP'd someone's
I have
house.
TP'd someone's house.
Toilet
actually.
paper was a commodity.
I don't think
I
it was.
taught to respect.
I actually don't think it was on Halloween, but I have TP'd someone's house.
You're out there in February. Nah. I can't tell. It's all white. That's why we got the colored toilet paper. Now, again, you said you've never been in somebody's house for trick-or-treating. Another thing at the park, because everybody had huge porches next to their trailers.
Yeah, like side porches. Yeah.
Yeah. Was haunted houses. And this one guy got super into it. This huge porch that was a haunted house. I mean, it's made out of garbage bags. It can't be that great. But at the time, it was awesome. And it all the way, like, weave through the porch, through the house, and out the back door, and then you got your candy there.
That I had kind of done, but
Okay.
it wasn't like that wasn't a time when I did that. It wasn't.
Was this in February also?
No, it was actually at a youth group. Like I used to be growing up. My parents were really Catholic, so I was in like a Sunday and Wednesday youth group, and we set up a thing like that. But it actually kind of like made me think, and I was actually going to ask you guys this too. And I'm glad you said something about like a haunted. But have you guys ever done like a haunted trail or a haunted house, like for the purpose of scaring yourself? Like, what do you guys think of those?
I thought you meant like put on one. I was saying, yeah, as a family, we put on a huge one every year.
Really, you guys would put on your own too?
Yeah, because before all the younger kids grew up, there was a ton of them, so we'd have a haunted forest at my cousin's back 40.
That's cool.
And you'd take the tractor out there and walk around. It'd probably take you a good 20 minutes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. How about, I mean...
Have you ever done like a haunted house or a haunted trail, William?
I did Erebus.
You did? You have done that?
Like you helped put it on, or you went through it?
No, I went
Oh,
to
okay.
it. I went with Carlos and Puma,
Yeah.
and I think Puma's girlfriend at the time. I can't think of her name. You're friends with her. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Erebus. That's like
Yeah.
the 4 or 5 like floor story one.
It was pretty freaky.
Was
Yeah.
it?
Like, there's a part in Erebus, like, I can't remember which floor or whatever, but, like, you're walking on this, like, very, like, soft ground, and then, like, the ground, like, kind of, like, grabs at your feet or something, and at the same time, there are these, like, big, like, air bubbles, like, like plastic air bubbles, so you have to like walk through them while stuff is grabbing at your feet and you can't like move, you have to follow the trail.
That would be rough.
And then after a while I was like, alright, I have to get on someone's back because it's freaking me out.
Well, because it's a lot of stuff pressing in on you,
Yep.
like making contact with you, that can probably exacerbate claustrophobia, stuff like that.
That was about 10 years ago, so I don't even know if they even have it up anymore.
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah, they do. It's gotten bigger and better.
Ugh.
My mom took me to one. I think I talked about this in a previous podcast. If not, I've like thought about it in one. But my mom took me to one when I was really young, and like it was like terrifying. There was actually a part where like we weren't really like separated, but like we weren't walking together because we were walking through a forest. It was like a haunted trail, and we were walking through like real dense trees, and so like I was separated from her for tiny little intervals or whatever. But I remember there was a part where a dude comes running straight at you with a chainsaw, and like it fucking like I started crying, and I was just like, fuck this. It wasn't until years later I found out that you could like run a chainsaw without an actual blade on it. So it's just like, but it had me terrified for years of like chainsaws. Like I feel like I like developed an anxiety where I didn't even like want to be around them. Like the sound of them made me like cringe, and I hated it. But
I feel bad for what I did to you today. Then
man, no, it's not even something that bothers me anymore. It's just like as a kid, man, that really fucked me up because like I was, like I said, like I was just walking in a straight line, like trying to get through it, knowing something was gonna come at me, but then to look ahead and a dude in a white suit is just barreling at you, and I was just like 5, and I was like, I can't do this, man. Like I need somebody to bail me out. Fucking Jesus. It's rough, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really like going through them. Actually, here in a week, Lady S and I were making a trip down to Kentucky to visit some friends from the Twitch stream, and actually, that's one of the things that we have planned is we're going to one of those fucking things.
oh, fun!
Because there's somebody that watches the stream that fucking works at one of them. So we're going to. I haven't done one of those in years, and personally, I don't even really like them. So I'm kind of at unease with it a little bit, I guess.
You sound thrilled.
Yeah, I'm not really, but like whatever. It's something different to do and something new to try. Another question I was gonna ask you guys is like, not necessarily Halloween like completely themed, but I mean like a question I want to ask is like, do you guys have like any favorite Halloween like horror movies to watch, or do you have like a favorite villain like Jason Voorhees or like Freddy Krueger? Do you have any like trilogies or sagas, even if it's strictly for the cheese of how bad they can be sometimes, like Halloween, Michael Myers? Do you guys have any like favorite spooky villains or like spooky movies that you like to watch? Chucky, anything like that?
Chucky was actually.
I'd probably watch Chucky again.
Chucky was actually one of the like movies I saw as a kid that developed my to this day fear of dolls.
Everyone, and
Are
I
you
mean
yelling at me?
everyone is Nightmare Before Christmas is like the best Halloween movie ever. And
I'm not a big fan of it either.
I know. That's so played out. Like,
I mean,
and if you even watch the fucking thing, it's about this guy who's all about himself and how like great he is, and this girl who's like in his shadow is trying to help him, and he's just like, oh, I'm so great. Like, I don't know. I just cannot stand this movie. Like, I think they need to
Really?
come out.
I thought you loved it.
I think they need to come out with a Nightmare Before Christmas 2 and just fucking do the whole
This is
thing.
what will happen if we're not selfish in the movie.
they're
No,
just gonna give everybody guns.
I was just
Make
thinking
it
of.
the Expendables before Christmas.
He said Halloween movies, and Nightmare Before Christmas has always been
Yeah.
shown as a Halloween movie.
It has.
Personally,
No,
I do
absolutely.
enjoy it. I'm not freaking. I don't have Jack fever over it. Like, ooh,
A lot
my
of people
car's.
do.
I'm not big on it.
Right.
Like, I mean, and it's not even because like so many people are up on it. It's just like I was never that into it because it's like it's a very in my opinion, like, while it has great story elements, a lot of it's like long and drawn out in my opinion. There was a couple times we would like watch it in school and I'd be like, this is fucking boring, you know, like Like nothing.
And
I've always preferred The Corpse Bride over that. Like I always
Yeah.
thought that was like a better reimagining. Still kind of like cheese and campy or whatever, but I feel like the animation was better. They took more time with it, so.
I actually never saw that movie.
You've never seen Corpse Bride? It's actually pretty decent. It's not that bad.
What's the
I do like some of Tim Burton's works, you know,
Oh, yeah.
like, but I don't know, like when I think of like fucking horror movies, I always like I was actually always a fan of like Freddy Krueger. I really liked fucking Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I just thought they were just fucking ridiculously stupid and gory, and
Yeah.
like there was a point where I was like, yeah, Johnny Depp.
I think everyone was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Johnny Depp.
Right.
Yeah. So there was that. What
There was that
about?
phase.
I don't know if it's necessarily a super creepy Halloween movie, but have you guys ever seen? I used to watch this a lot around Halloween. Have you ever seen Donnie Darko? Do you guys like Donnie Darko at all?
Yeah.
That was always
It's-
a cool one that freaked me out. Kind of takes place around a Halloween, and,
Again, it's not a Halloween movie, but
but it has like those elements. to
Yeah.
it. I wouldn't say anything.
it's got
is,
the fall elements.
I wouldn't really say anything is a Halloween movie other than like Halloween itself with Michael Myers, and because that all does take place on Halloween. You know what I mean? But
Right.
most of the other stuff is just kind of creepy stuff. I mean, just stuff that we would watch around this time
I would,
in the spirit of that.
I would watch Hatchet, the first one, the one that I was telling you about like a couple podcasts ago.
Yeah.
How it's like super cheese and it's supposed to be.
Mhm.
I would watch that movie and House of Wax.
There was another one that I watched a couple of years ago, and I lightly remember the premise, but I do remember kind of liking it, and it was recommended to me by my brother, and it was called Trick or Treat. Have you ever seen that?
Never heard of it.
No,
No.
but isn't it about isn't it about like a little kid with like a pumpkin head or something?
Pretty sure it's about vampires, actually, is what it ends up being about.
Not the kid with the pumpkin head.
I don't like, no, I'm pretty sure it's about vampires.
Oh.
Or at least like a bunch of different colliding things in one night. Because it's a bunch of people's different stories that all kind of meet up at the end. It's like the vantage point of Halloween.
You know what would be really cool to watch, like you know, in the spirit of Halloween, is like Tales from the Crypt.
Oh,
That would be cool. That actually always freaked me out as a kid.
I think they actually played that
The Crypt Keeper, at least, anyway.
like
Right.
during like Halloween days and not like Halloween time. I think they used to play it on like the Sci-Fi Channel for a while. At
Did
least-
you guys ever watch, like, Elvira or
No.
whatever?
yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Mega cleavage.
Did you actually see the show, Corey?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
Another good movie. You mentioned it earlier. Was Child's Play.
Yeah,
Used to
see,
jump-
that gave me my fear of dolls, like, at a young age. Like, it
I
just...
think that's why it's so successful, because dolls are naturally creepy.
It made me mistrust them even further.
Poor dolls just sitting there in the corner like, what'd I do?
Right. I'm over there with a cross and holy water, like, the power of Christ compels you.
Right.
What else about Halloween can we talk about? Anything that you guys can think of?
Real quick, you're talking about touching Jesus. That's a sexy Beetlejuice.
What? Oh,
Jesus juice?
You're talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas and watching it during school. And just real quick, and I had to throw it in there. Isn't that the worst? Because you got all the people that absolutely love it. Like, it's such a...
When you watch it in school with
Yeah.
people? Oh, yeah!
The
Yeah.
animation, it's its finest. It is such a genius. No, it's a movie. Relax. It's just stop motion animation. Granted, it is great, and that's... I also wanted to kind of cover my ass a little bit to be like, I like it, but I like it because of I know the work that goes into stop motion
I have
animation.
to be in the mood to watch it. Like, if I'm going to watch it, I have to want to watch it. Because, yeah, when I watched it in school, I would typically just doze off or draw, honestly. I was never that enthralled with it.
Grab my razor blades and let's watch some.
actually, I probably would watch Beetlejuice too.
Beetlejuice is a good movie.
That is a good movie.
I just watched it a couple weeks ago. My favorite thing, and I gotta say, and it's very Halloweeny, and not just... I'm sure Christmas movies would do it too, is the hamster, if you will. Is, like, she loves Nightmare Before Christmas. She loves Beetlejuice. She loves, what's that other? Sweeney Todd, which I'm like... 10 minutes into that movie, I'm like, maybe this isn't an appropriate film
Sweeney
for a
Todd's a
3-year-old.
rough one.
But the music, and she's like...
maybe more like, have you shown her Edward Scissorhands yet? Might be a good one.
That is a good idea.
Yeah, not
a little Burton fan out of her yet.
That's a pretty good movie.
There was something else I had on the tip of my tongue, and it's gone.
And it's gone like the wind.
What's one of your favorite things to do during the Halloween season?
Work.
I don't know. Like every 2 years, my mom and my stepdad have a Halloween party. There's actually going to be one this year if you want to go.
May I ask why it's every 2 years?
Because it's actually, they throw such a big one and they invite so many people and it's so much work and cleanup that they only want to do it every 2 years.
Gotcha.
Because I mean, they hire a DJ for the night. They rent out ride in like a photo booth.
Dude, that's like
they pretty
party.
much they pretty much like cater all sorts of food and drink and. Yep, it's a blast.
So they do it a year, the next 2 years they don't do it, and then do it again, or is it every other year?
We're doing it this year, and then next year we won't, and then the year after we will.
So it's every other year then?
It's every 2 years. Isn't that the same thing?
I just got a little confused.
Oh yeah, well I was just that's pretty much it. Honestly, like I've always. Like, as a kid, I would always go out and do stuff on it. Like, once I was too old to actually trick-or-treat, like, usually my friends were having a party, and I think I was so cool by going there and, like, drinking and stuff.
I'm so cool.
Pretty much. I mean, the only thing I remember of that was, like, there was a time I had gone to my buddy Jordan's house. Or, no, I'm sorry, it was my buddy Andy's house, who lived right next door to him, and there was a huge Halloween party, and actually my buddy Francis was there or whatever, and I remember I was there with my girlfriend at the time, and we ended up just getting absolutely fucking shit-faced. And, like, the whole time, I'll never forget, there was this asshole that kept coming. He was, like, inside the house. Most of us were chilling in the back and, listening to music on the speakers and stuff. And this guy, 6 different times, comes out to the back. He's like, oh, my God, guys, cops are here. And, like, the first few times, everybody freaked the fuck out. And as the night went on, he kept fucking doing it, and everybody's like, oh, man, that's really fucking funny. You're super hilarious, dude. Well, the cops ended up actually showing up. So the same guy comes back for the 7th time. He's like, oh, my God, guys, cops here. And, like, nobody was having it. We're just like, fuck you, guy. You know, you're fucking stupid. Like, stop doing that to people. And then, like, another person comes out, and, like, they're like, the cops are really here. So everybody just straight panic. And, like, I remember I ended up, like losing my girl in the mix or whatever, and I went, like, hopping. I think I hopped, like, 2 or 3 fences. I was running through people's backyards, and I was, I don't remember if I was in costume or not, but I ended up running through, like, 3 backyards, and I found somebody with an above-ground pool, and I, like, hid underneath the dock of it, and I was just, like, tucked away in this corner, and I'll never forget, because this, like, other guy found the same hiding spot, and he comes in and he, like, tucks up next to me, and I'm just, like, breathing heavy and, like, trying to stay as silent as possible, and no joke, this guy gets on his phone, and he calls his mom, and he's like, Mom? He's like, yeah, I'm at the party, and he's like, I'm totally safe, I'm having a great time, and I was like, get off of your phone! And this guy's just like, dude, he's like, I gotta tell Mom everything's okay. I was just like, it's just not the time. It's not the time.
So wait
a minute.
And I'm like sitting there waiting to get arrested. Like, it never came, but I actually did see that flashlights were going off, like that you could see the beam up. So I was like, really thinking we were being looked for, but like I literally I laid into the guy. I was like, get off of your phone, or I was like, I'm just gonna kick you out of my hiding spot. I was like, I will fight you to make you leave. Like, get out of here. And he finally turned it off, and like we sat there in silence for like 2 minutes, and I was freaking out. And afterwards, like we all went back or whatever, and I'm pretty sure a couple people did actually get like arrested from that party that night that were either in the house or I don't know what the fuck happened. I didn't end up going back. I actually like had my truck at the time, and I was parked down at my friend Jason's, which is about 5 houses down from Andy's. I just got my S10 and I left.
So wait, you left your girlfriend?
No, I was actually gonna say I did end up like meeting up with her again, but like we just immediately got out of there.
Jesus.
I was not having it, dude.
That sounds like a great time.
It was a bad time. It was a scary time.
Can't arrest all of you.
No, exactly.
Exactly.
It's scatter mentality.
I was gonna say things that I enjoyed about Halloween before I started this job. It was because I worked in more of a public domain, and you could it was nice when people would come in, creative people, not the ones that go to the Halloween stores and buy the plastic costume in the plastic bag for $20. Have an imagination. That would come in and
or I'll kill you.
Try to put things together. When I worked retail, I was in a clothing store, and they'd ask you for your ideas, and it was great to have people like that are inspired enough to create their own things and just ask you questions and run ideas by you. And it was almost festive like Christmas, where everyone's like, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And we're going to this party, and I want to be this or that, and I really like the camaraderie of it, if you will. It's just, I don't know, that was one of my favorite things about Halloween. Even though it wasn't so Halloweeny, I knew that that's what it would bring.
I got a good one for you guys. What is, like, if you've ever done it, because I was going to say, I already know what mine would be. I have a couple, but did you guys, around this time, do you ever carve pumpkins? Or have you ever carved a really cool thing into a pumpkin? Or have you ever seen a really cool pumpkin carving?
You got anything?
Because
I'm going to go on a tangent.
The last time I carved a pumpkin was 2 years ago, and it was with you.
That's what I was going to say was my favorite, because, like, we did Goomba from Mario, and I did Boo. Yeah. Yep.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I did. I ended up doing the outline, so it'd be much easier. It wasn't like a guessing game, and it was pretty fun.
And I was just gonna say I did a really cool Scooby-Doo one when I was a kid, but like I've never been able to, and I've always thought it was super cool. The people that like can like chip away it a little bit and create shading. You know what I mean? Like I've never been able to do that, but like I've seen some really intricate designs which can get really cool. But yeah, for me that one that we did together stands out, and then like the Scooby-Doo one as a kid. But what about you, Mr. Tangenta?
You brought the shading, and I've done I think just one pumpkin, and it was where you just chip the skin off, then let the light flow through and it was a praying mantis, and God, I wish I still had pictures of it. It was amazing. Like
really,
it was just sitting here like this and just
no shit
going to town on a pumpkin. That sounds bad. And it was super easy. I just look it up and do it sometime, and at home, if you want to try something different, try shaving pumpkins instead of carving them. It's easier than you think, and it's the best bang for your buck that I found yet. I wish I had a family to enjoy it with.
It's almost like woodworking, I would think, or something.
Kinda, yeah. It's just a little outside the box, but it works great.
Yeah, great. Absolutely.
But no, you're saying carving pumpkins. And one of my best friends was, I think, 5 or 6 time pumpkin carving champion at the underwater pumpkin carving contests. They put on full scuba gear.
What?
And get under the water and carve pumpkins.
You're kidding.
No.
Are you serious?
No, they'll be under there for an hour and a half to 2 hours.
They would put on scuba gear, go underwater, and carve a pumpkin.
Yep.
No fucking kidding. What?
The only prep... I know, your mind just...
Yeah, it sure did.
The only prep was you'd gut your pumpkin up top, and you could trace on it with a Sharpie or something of the like.
No kidding.
But that was all the prep. Dude.
Where did this take place?
Right here in Ottawa Lake.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Every year.
That is insane.
It'd actually be coming up in I think this week.
Oh my god.
And as I said, he was 5 or 6 time champion, and he like...
Oh my god.
The 3D pumpkins, I wish I had pictures to show you because it was just killer.
I'd love to see that. Yeah, that's
he had
crazy.
Sailboats that come out. And
oh my god.
I'm talking a 4-foot pumpkin. Like, he brought it out of the water, assembled, and it's just... it was taller than his child at the time.
That's amazing.
Asked his wife to marry him.
I mean, like, that's amazing that you could just do that to begin with, and then, like, to add the added element of, like, being submerged in water for no apparent reason, just for difficulty's sake.
Well, it's actually easier.
That's like me being like, I'm gonna fucking iron this shirt while skydiving. Like, you know what I mean? Exactly. Check this shit out. Like,
I had the same reaction when it was presented to me, like, hey, do you want to go? Yeah, I'll go. And it was just like, that seems so ridiculous. I'm in.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
But it's
You
easier.
ever wrote a poem while bungee jumping? Like,
I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die.
that's just fucking crazy. But even pumpkins makes me think too and wonder. Another big thing that I love about October and fall is like you were talking earlier how like we have a plan. We're not really sure when, but we usually hit up like an orchard or something, and like orchards are always fun too. Like
Drinking cider.
I don't exactly drinking cider. I don't know if that's like a big thing outside of like northern states like Michigan, but I also love pumpkin pie. Like I'm not really big on pumpkin seeds. I think I've talked about that with people on Twitch before. I don't fucking like pumpkin seeds at all, but pumpkin pie is good. Cider, like warm apple cider, is fucking delicious. And then usually if you go to like a cider mill or something, they usually have like really good hot like cinnamon donuts and stuff. So that's definitely something. If you're ever visiting like this way, any of you listeners out there, like you definitely have to.
You owe it to yourself.
Yeah, you do. You definitely owe it to yourself to try, because like fucking again, the cider is amazing, and even like a good caramel apple or like a hot just straight out the fucking thing donut is amazing. But that also made me wonder, have you guys ever been through, I've gone through a couple when I was a kid. Do you ever do like corn mazes like around this time or anything?
No.
I stay away from cornfields.
Really? Why? Because everything there is stalking you?
Yeah.
Slap. All right, and with that, guys, actually, we did hit kind of like our time anyway. This would be a good time to end this because I think it's about almost the same time as our last random questions episode, or maybe the next random questions episode. I don't know what order we're doing them in. Don't boss me around. Anyway, so again, guys, we wanna first off like wish you guys the happiest and safest Halloween this year. Again, October, fall, or just if you celebrated it all. This is a wonderful time. It's a pretty cool holiday. A lot of people like being scared. A lot of people love to trick or treat. So let us know your stories in the comments and stuff, and we would love to read and hear back from you. As always, I'm going to pass it off to Corey for a little bit of late night information, and we'll wrap this up and possibly start another one, or possibly call it a night, depending on how everybody's feeling. But again, guys, thanks for listening, and here's King Size.
We don't know that it's late night. They might be listening to it.
It's late night for us.
7 in the morning.
That's what I was saying.
Oh, I know. I'm just giving you shit.
Okay.
Yeah, tell us your favorite things about Halloween. If you had a badass costume, a costume you can't stand, go ahead and send it to us. At the show, email us. Crap. HLSZ3show@yahoo.com. And as Hyper said, make sure you have a great Halloween. Stay safe. Say
great. And safe and great. And
I
you
just-
guys made fun of me for the world thing at the beginning. I'd like to run that I'd like to run that full circle back and say that it happens to everybody, okay?
I just want to say why I was laughing out of nowhere. Do you know how, some people take videos and they add their own captions at the bottom?
Yeah.
I want to do that for this one because what he was saying was just like running all together. It was making me laugh.
Well, I'll try again. Have a safe and happy Halloween. Enjoy yourselves. Get a hold of us.
Yep, please do. Again, any feedback is always appreciated. And thanks as always for joining your three hosts, Hypergraphia,
Lady S.
King Size.
and we'll see you in the next one. Love ya. Bye.